Hello, and welcome to I Eat What I Need, video blog number 3. And today I'd like to speak to you about natural eating. And natural eating is the guiding principle for my life and for I Eat What I Need as a community. And when I say natural eating, I'm talking about those people that you know, and they are out there. My husband's one of them. The people that eat what they need without any visible effort. People who don't diet, people who don't restrict their eating, people who have a very comfortable and very effortless relationship with their physical body and with their digestive system, their gut brain. People who seem to be able to eat in accordance with that gut brain in a very beautiful natural feedback loop between brain and belly. People who eat like babies and children often eat before things get disrupted or before that feedback loop gets disconnected. And we all know these people. We know people who seem to be a naturally comfortable size for themselves, who don't obsess about food, who don't obsess about healthy and unhealthy. The people who seem to be able to do this everything in moderation kind of thing, and who also take good care of themselves, who eat good food and who enjoy that feeling of making their body feel well. But they do it comfortably, without effort, and they do it sustainably. They do it over an entire lifetime. And it's not that their eating is always the same, and it's not that they never over or undereat, but it's just not an issue for them. Eating and feeding themselves is just not an issue. It's something that just happens. They tune in, they eat to hunger, and then it's done. And if you try and get a natural eater to override that, they won't be able to. I'll say to my husband, come on, there's this really nice food here, and why don't you? And if he's not hungry, he just will not eat. It doesn't matter whether it's a meal time, it doesn't matter if somebody else has spent hours and hours preparing it. It really doesn't matter. If his body is not in a comfortable place where he feels it can receive food, he will not sacrifice that for anything. And that's very exciting to me. That's very exciting to me and very intriguing and very inspiring. Because when I think about what I'd like to be and how I'd like to feel, I'd like to be that natural eater. I'd like to feel like that. And all of the practices that I engage in to help me to reconnect with my body and to help me to eat what I need, they arise from that intention, from that desire to be on the path to becoming a natural eater, which is, and I believe we are all born natural eaters, that nature is not, nature is very wise, and nature very often makes a lot of sense. And as babies, in our babyhood, we are natural eaters. We learn through all these sensory experiences, through touching and playing with food and eating it and digesting it. You try and overfeed a baby, it will be sick. You try and force a baby, which we do actually, you force a baby to eat and they will not be well. And you have to really dominate a child or a baby. If you allow babies and young children to eat what they need, that's exactly what they will do. And within all of us however disordered our eating may have become, however many diets we've done, however many times we've lamented this terrible issue in our lives, this inability to eat what we need, however difficult this struggle has become, I believe that within us there lies dormant this possibility, this opportunity to come back to natural eating. And for me, I think that lies within our gut brain, within the belly. And getting back to natural eating is not necessarily an intellectual process. I don't believe that you need to necessarily read a load of books about it, or you need to understand the exciting and interesting physiology of your gut, although all of those things can be interesting. For me, when I see natural eaters, they might have no idea what's going on intellectually below the surface, but they are certainly feeling what's going on. And this practice is very new to me. It's an ancient practice that I'm sure I did as a baby and a young child, but as an adult, the practice of feeling down into my belly is really revolutionary for me as someone who has struggled to control her eating for a long, long time. And control will only ever get you so far. Control and restriction will only ever get you as far as your willpower can get you. And we all know that willpower is limited. It gets exhausted over time, which is why at the end of a long day, we literally don't have enough energy left to control and restrict anymore. And then we go into the other side, which is, oh, well, let's just do whatever. And we go mad, and we go into anything goes. And that's, a quick ride to binge town. I think a lot of people would understand what that feels like when we've controlled and restricted and we've been good all day, and then we get to that point of, I just don't have the mental energy to keep resisting this. So control is not an option long term. Control is not something that we can do over a lifetime. But over a lifetime, I believe that we can have a practice which connects us to our gut brain, which requires no effort, and we can do it now, and we can do it together. And all you have to do is, however you are now, become comfortable. So find a comfortable seat. Take a few breaths. You might wish to close your eyes, because I find that the closing of the eyes just helps you to take your awareness inside. And just remembering that you occupy a physical body. It's here. It has lungs. The lungs are taking that breath inside your physical body. And beneath this pair of lungs, just inviting your awareness down to feel into this soft, juicy, liquid space underneath the rib cage and above the pelvis. The space that holds your digestive system, the space that holds your womb if you're a woman, the space that holds the gut brain. And just noticing, what does it feel like here now? I'm noticing that my leggings feel quite restrictive? Do your trousers or your skirt, does that feel restrictive in any way? Do you need to undo your button, move your clothes out the way? That's a very good start to developing a relationship with your middle, is to allow it to be comfortable in whatever clothes you're wearing. And just feel if that allows the breath to come a little more comfortably into this middle space. And I've just noticed a burp come up right now. It's almost like there's a little gentle recalibration of the internal space. That's a good sign. When things, have a little burp or a little fart maybe, or you feel a little kind of resettling, that's your internal space just settling down. And just noticing what you feel there. I just felt a little inside on the left side. I don't know what it was, but it needed to happen. I can also feel my organs almost sort of pushing up against the abdominal wall, slightly kind of barrel-like feeling. A fullness, which is interesting because I've had no lunch today yet. But there's definitely a fullness there. And that fullness, I think, for me comes from going to a wonderful wedding yesterday and perhaps enjoying the food and eating more food than I think my body really wished for. And I carry that sort of gentle barrel-like feeling in my tummy. And even though there's a slight hunger there, there's also this kind of slightly distended fullness that is communicating to me, let me be, leave me alone. I'd rather not have food inside me at this very moment. What is your gut communicating to you? Does it feel tight, soft? On the scale of empty to full, where is it sitting? On the scale of comfortable to uncomfortable, where is it sitting? And as you breathe in this space, what messages arise of that reconnection with the gut brain? And the basic message will be very simple. The message will be eat or don't eat. Or also hydrate or don't hydrate. And this practice of going inside, of feeling the internal space around the middle, around the gut brain and being present to the messages that arise is a hugely transformative practice. This is a practice that I am learning to incorporate into almost every waking moment of my life, that it is available to me. And sometimes the message that I receive is a bit disappointing, because there may well be some very delicious food available to me, and my gut brain is saying, no, I don't want it. And there's a big disappointment in that. And we always have the capacity to override the gut brain. And disordered eating, I believe, is our disconnection from the gut brain and our continued non-listening, our continued deafening of the messages that arise in this sacred space. It's a disconnection from this part of us. And when there is disconnection in our organism, we are not whole. We are not whole. There's a part of us that's missing. And I'm realizing that as someone with eating issues, very often there are parts of my body that, for whatever reason, were lost to me for years and years and years at a time. And there is no therapist and no book and no method that's going to bring this back to me. The only method that I know is feeling your body. And there are body workers that can help you to do that. There are certainly therapeutic body workers that can help you to get into your body, and yoga certainly can help you, and body-based meditation practices can definitely help you with that. But ultimately, you're the one who has to take your awareness inside. You're the one who has to dare to feel what lies beneath the surface. Even though someone can help you to get there, can show you a path to feeling what your body's communicating to you. Only you can actually choose to do that, can choose to feel what's there. And feeling your way through is very different to mental control or mental restriction and rule-based living. Because the gut brain is not giving you a rule to live by. The gut brain is not saying, you must eat this and you must eat that, or you must not eat this and you must not eat that. The gut brain is just saying, this is how I feel now, in this moment. Do you choose to listen or not? Do you choose to value what I have to say or not? And we always have a choice to ignore. And even if we don't ignore, we actually feel what's going on in the gut brain, we then still have another choice to override that message. And on this path to natural eating, what I'm finding is that my practice is to feel more and more and more my gut brain and my middle space and the sensations that arise therein, and to begin to heed these messages more and more and begin to follow this new leader that resides within my gut brain. To question any food thoughts or any mental craving that arises, and to invite my awareness downwards into this deeply messy, liquid, bubbling, gassy space that sometimes doesn't feel very comfortable, but is also at the heart of my natural eater's wisdom. My natural eater, I believe, resides in my gut brain. And it was always there. It was there as a baby. It's still there now. We all have a gut. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So, however far you've strayed from the path of that natural, intuitive eating, your gut brain still has the potential to gently, slowly bring you back to wholeness and bring you back to natural eating, if you choose to go inside and feel what it has to say, and if you choose to follow the message that it's given you. And more often than not, in my experience, the message will be, I'm fine, leave me be. I don't need to eat right now. And that's a hard message to take when you're very invested in the sensory pleasures of eating and the participation and enjoyment of eating in a group and celebrating with food together. So being with that sadness and being with that grief and that disappointment of not being able to use that substance can be a real challenge. But the payoff is knowing that you are cultivating a more respectful relationship with a part of you that has been ignored and pushed to the side, a part of you that has not been valued. And we can choose to value our gut brains. We can choose to value the wisdom that we find there. So my invitation to you would be to feel into the gut brain, to feel into this liquid space of your digestive organs in your midsection. Notice what arises. Notice if there's a message there about whether your stomach and your digestive organs would like to receive food for digestion or not. And if it's not, you can allow that disappointment to be there and accept that as part of your journey back into alignment with your whole self, gut brain included. So I wish that for you. I wish that finding your path back to natural eating through redeveloping this felt relationship with your gut brain, I wish that that becomes a part of your life and a part of your reality. And it's very simple. You just have to feel down. Feeling everything that is there and knowing that this is a practice, and practice means many, many times. Practice means doing it imperfectly, and practice means a continued commitment. However many times you fall back into habit, however many times you override that sensation, however many times you feel pulled back into the food, you don't give up, you don't despair. You come back to center, you come back to the gut brain, and you recommit. Okay, I'm just going to feel you, I'm just going to feel you. And even if my eating stays exactly the same, even if I don't like what I feel, I still commit to feeling you. And I take baby steps. And I know that with time, maybe with years, this relationship will strengthen and grow. And ultimately, this is the best protection that I have against disordered eating. This is the anchor that will bring me back to natural eating in my gut brain. So wishing you a wonderful week of comfortable eating for you and your gut brain. Mwah.